last idea I want to cover, and this I wouldn't say necessarily. I mean, I don't know, and this is me honest. I don't know if this is a red pill thing. I know some of the content creators. I mean, let me explain. I'm be honest here. I wasn't a card carrying red pillar. I didn't read any red pill content. I didn't actually know what red pill really was until recently, but I did consume their content from some of the content creators of that. So the ideology and stuff I had picked up. So I can't say this is in their doctrine or in their books that they have, red pill books, but this is something that some of them have mentioned. And it's this idea of the disposable male. So let me frame it for you. Let me frame this disposable male idea. Throughout history, we see many, many, many examples of men who were disposable. They essentially were worthless, useless. The actual value is in a woman. She is a human being, whereas a man is a human doing. And I've expressed this phrase myself many times, didn't actually realize how false it was, but let me explain. A woman's value from her own birth is herself. She doesn't have to do anything to be valuable. Whereas a man is worth less. He is essentially a burden on society. He is basically a waste man unless he makes something of himself. So that's why a man is a human doing, as in his worth is in him doing, whereas a woman is a human being. Her value is in her being. So what makes him disposable? Look at war. We send men out to go and die. We won't send a woman out to go die. We have to protect the woman because she is valuable. As for the man, I can send out 1,000 of them and that's it. They're gone. We've got another 1,000 left to go. Not so for it. If a ship is sinking and we have 100 people on the boat and we have 5 lifeboats, we don't have enough space for the women and children. Sorry guys, we have to save the women and children because fundamentally a man is disposable. A woman isn't disposable, but a man is disposable. And there are many examples of this where we give extra virtue to a woman because she is valuable in of herself. Whereas a man, he only has worth if I'm doing something, and even then, we can do without him. That's the framing. And I give many examples of this thing where we would favor women and would choose women over, But again, and it's kind of similar to what we mentioned before about the high value man. But again, this is the issue of framing. How do you frame the situation? Let's rewind the clock. Why do men go out to war? Because they're more able to fight. Send a woman out to fight war. What are you going to do? She might shoot, she might swing a sword, but if she gets captured, what's she going to become? What's going to happen to her if she gets captured? How likely is she to able to defeat another man opposing her in battle? Unlikely. So it's not because she is more valuable why she doesn't go out to fight. It's because she is less capable. Now you actually flip the situation on its head. How about the boat situation? Men. If you have to choose between a man and a woman, women, we save the women and children because they're more vulnerable. Like the example, give them again, but again, another shout to Qawamun. Give an example in one of his videos about the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, where the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam agreed to send back all those who accepted Islam, who made migration to Medina, send them back to Mecca. So any Muslim who left the oppression of Mecca to go to Medina, the part of the peace treaty was that they were sent back to Mecca, except the women. So some might say, frame it wrong. See, look, men are disposable. You want the women, but keep the men. No. It's because the women are more vulnerable. If a woman is in that environment, it's more likely she's going to be oppressed and may even revert back to kufr due to her inability to manage that difficulty. Whereas a man is different. A man can defend himself, he can support himself, and that's actually what happened. Those who migrate from Mecca to Medina and they were sent back, they actually went to Yambur and set up their own little qabila, their own little posse, and started to raid the caravans of Mecca until eventually the Mecca said, look, just take these guys, man. Just please take them into your city so they don't stop raiding our caravans and put them within a treaty. So they actually scrubbed that bit off. So you can see here that the man is more capable, which is why they were treated differently. And this is what feminists don't understand. A man is not the same as a woman. ليس الذكر كالأنثى. The man is not the same as the woman. They're very, very different. And we treat them differently according to the inherent biological differences between the two. It's not because one is more valuable than the other and one is more. No. A woman, Maryam alayhi salam, is more valuable than every man. Aisha is more valuable than probably all the men of today. And she's a woman. So it's not to do with man being disposable. It's about how you frame the situation. How do you frame the situation? And this is why I think this ideology is very dangerous, because it will give you something that seems to make sense, but the thing is the wrong framing. They've explained things falsely and given a false narrative, which is actually why I don't like listening to biographies of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam given by kuffar, because they frame situations differently. Like, for example, just yesterday, someone on Twitter said to me, "Oh, your Prophet Muhammad slaughtered 1,000 men." That sentence sounds really bad and horrific. But let's frame it. It was war. And they tried to help the enemies come in to slaughter all the women and children and the men in the city, whilst breaking your peace treaty and your agreement to work with the Muslims at Bani Qurayza. Bit different if you frame it correctly. So as you can see, this ideology strips away from the man who a man really is, what gave Adam value and that led to Allah instructing the Malaika to prostrate to Adam. And we are just a useless madda, useless material. Again, an Iblisi ideology. And finally, again, sowing the seeds of contempt and contempt. Why is that fair? Why is it that woman should do this and woman should do that? It's not because she is more valuable than you, because she's more vulnerable than you. It's like anything. Again, frame it. Why should I look after women? Why should you look after children? If a child was on the street, if a child was walking in the street midnight, a 6-year-old, Wallahi al-Azim, if you saw a 6-year-old walking on the street, everyone would think, what the heck? What are you doing on the street on your own? If anything, you would say, where are you going? I'll take you home. Why would you do that? Why would you leave going home, delay your returning home to help out a child in the street because they're vulnerable? You might leave him, then someone else might take him and kidnap him. So you want to take him home. Likewise, if you saw a sister out in the street midnight, sister, what are you doing at night time? Why are you not home? Oh, I got late from work. I know most men won't do this, but maybe you want them to say, okay, make sure that she gets home. Make sure that no one doesn't attack her in the street because she's vulnerable. So anyway, you get the gist.